or chair design. Whenever we talk about ergonomics, this is the primary question every ergonomics get in our day-to-day life from anyone who wants to learn or know about ergonomics. What is this term? Everybody is concerned about is sitting posture because sitting posture is the most important posture on workplaces as well as at home. Whenever we sit, we want a comfort. There are ages and centuries have gone for making a design of chair. And this design of chair has many evolution phases and had many concepts behind it. Earlier, chair was designed not only for the use, sometimes for the status symbol, for kings, for lords, for landlords, or for the chair was designed for priest in the anywhere you want to raise the status or the position of a person who wants going to address a gathering, you wanted him or her to be on a higher place than the other one. There was not only the status problem, but to raise his position so that other can watch and be the audience in the meeting. So I'm just taking a quick review of the evaluation of the chair, but the term ergonomics has joined this seating to provide a comfort so that the person can stay in chair for longer periods. It can be for the normal person, it can be for the kids, it can be for the workplace, it can be for the kitchen, it can be uh, for patients. So it is a different stages, different patterns, different requirement. For kids, requirement is different. For old age, requirement is different. For patients, requirement is different. For workplace, requirement is different. If any one of you have seen a very small, like stools, we call it PD. So in earlier days, maybe 40 years back, people used to take food sitting on the PD and then taking on the floor. And then not every house has the table and dining table or chair, but nowadays it has come to every home. So there were stages of the design evolution in chair or seating. I will just take a quick tour and then we will come back to the design parameters which are mainly uh, concern the ergonomics in seating. Seating design is one thing, but ergonomics is an added parameter. Because of that, you can only make the compatibility of the human anthropometry as well as human comfort and stability, workability, flexibility with the chair. So see, these were some of the early table and chairs made up of wood. You can see the chairs, even though it is a revolving chair, but it is of hardwood. When it is of hardwood, having no cushion can have some scope of improvement. Even though you have designed a very comfortable chair, there could be scope of improvement. See, these are the furnitures having cushion. Earlier, desk and chair used in schools and other places. This is a rocking chair. Even now, it is being used. Old furnitures, wooden furnitures without comfort, without cushions. Chairs used by kings. Chair used in mosque for addressing, in gurudwaras. Seat, you can say it is ergonomically designed or something for kids. Neonatals for taking food. Auditorium chairs or conference chairs, they have arrangement for taking food or they have arrangement for taking notes. very well designed chair for a particular person for computer use or IT professionals. Chair used in schools. You see here, the person wants a comfort. So everybody wants a kind of change to their posture and compatibility with posture, compatibility with his or her own body rhythms. You see, sometimes person want a comfort or obstruction on under the knees to give a proper posture. This is one of the concept where you are having support, you are having a tilt, you are having a back rest. Classroom chairs, I don't know how many problems and how many comforting uh, provisions are in this here. See this, see this. This is one of an designed workstation. These are all experiments and these are all different purpose used in airplanes. Now we come back to the main points of comfort requirement in chair. And these points are safety, the first thing. If suppose you are having a chair with sharp edges or some nails not properly fixed up, so it is not safe. If it is a weak and you are asking a heavy person to sit in, that way it is not safe. So there are many things where we don't have a proper concern about safety. So safety is the primary first parameter over here. Then we have adaptability, how much you can adapt, what are the positions, what are the uh, how many which population can accept that particular thing. Comfort, for example, if seat is having a very synthetic um, cover or seat pads, the person does not feel comfort. If it is very slippery, person does not feel comfort. So you want a kind of thing which can be comforting. If the hand rests are very hard, you might feel pain in your forearm, um, or your radial and ulnar bones, or your ulnar bone of the forearm. You might feel discomfort over here. And this the other points also. If the seat pad is hardwood, you may not sit for longer periods. You can sit only for short periods. Then practicality, where you can apply the chair, where you can have this chair, what is the functional uh, abilities of the chair, whether it can be used for study, it can be used for workstation, it solidity or stability, whether it is a stable or it may have disbalance. Have you considered the gravity? Suitability, whether it is suitable for the person or for the workplace. So these are some of the basic parameters taken from um, the book of Human Factors in Engineering and Design by McCormick. And also taken from Handbook of Ergonomics and Human Factors by Karwowski. So these books or these handbooks are considered for summarizing this discussion or this lecture for seat design. Now moving one by one, what is the meaning of safety? When evaluating safety requirement, the following characteristics and variables should be considered. Stability of the chair, whether chair may have disbalance, gravitational consideration of the body as well of the seat, as well as the body in a backrest or body forward lean or backward in extension posture when the chair must remain stable. So in all the 3D positions, you have of the person sitting in the chair must be must be considered for the stability of the chair. So in this case, I could say that the the line of center of gravity is most important of the person in sitting posture, person and person plus sitting in chair. So these things are important for the stability of chair. Second is pressurized gas springs for adjusting the height of the seat plane and the slope of the backrest. So whenever, if suppose you have a chair like this, so in this chair, backrest may have is adjustable, and when backrest is adjustable, then also you have to see where the center of gravity lies. So line of the center of gravity, wideness of the wheels or the or the floor support must be more than the sitting area. This I simply say that if suppose this is the sitting plane and rest a plane on the floor must always be bigger than this for the stability. If it is lesser than this, there are chances that we are going to disturb our center of gravity. And if we disturb our center of gravity, it may not be good for the stability of the chair. So center of gravity must be within this. If these are four wheels of a particular, I could say, seat, then in that case, center of gravity must not go beyond this. It will not go. But if your wheels are within here, this wheel, and center of gravity goes away from this floor area, sometimes for reducing the cost, the floor support is smaller in size and they reduce the material, they save the cost, but that is not good for the stability of the chair. Next is chair adjustments and controls must be at the proper place. You want to, suppose you have a chair like this. So some of the adjustments are provided, but these must be within the reach of the person. Within the reach of the person, that person's hand can come up and adjust it. So they may not be at the position where you, or they may not be so uncompatible, so that if you want to do an adjustment of some other suppose seat back and you are doing an adjustment of height, so these controls must be compatible with your human rhythms and human concepts which are embedded in your brain processing. So we have to take those kind of considerations so that you may not make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, there are chances that your body is conscious to adjust the height, but unnecessary you are doing adjusting the back, so you may fall down. So those kind of things have to be avoided. Chair component must not be flammable. They should be non-flammable materials like seat pad, etc. Because sometimes when in theaters we heard the news about the fire. So if the material is inflammable, then we may save the quantum of the fire. So these things may be considered. Choice of casters, anti-skid material can be choose. Absence of sharp edges. Generally in armrest, for example, this is an armrest, and these underneath the edges are left without um, rubbing. So these have not to be sharp, so that the person may have wounds. So armrest should never pinch. It should never be very hard. It should be a semi hard, and that can help in having a safety in chair. Second is, when we consider the safety from ergonomics point of view, the other important point is adaptability. And adaptability is how much you can adjust the chair, how much it has the flexibility in chair, what functional adaptability with respect to our anthropometry. So anthropometry is nothing but body dimensions, static or dynamic. So static dimensions like seat height, stature height, eye height, shoulder height, etc., elbow height. These are important parameters, like width of the buttock, your sitting, your length of your femur bone, length of forearm, length of legs. All these factors are important. So these are some of the factors which have shown here. Like you have this uh, A, B, C, D. So A is nothing but your seat height, although you provide a kind of curvature to give a good support to your muscles. So your body has two main structural system. One is bones and the other is muscles. So what we call it musculoskeletal system. So musculoskeletal system of the body had to be compatible with the seat. So in this case, we are providing a curvature. We are not providing a sharp edges here, so that there may be a gap between back of the knee and the end of the seat plane. So seat depth, this is B. How much depth do you require for the seat? Sometimes we purchase a very good sofa. I had a kind of observation. But sofa seat depth is so high that you need bigger cushions, very, very thick cushions to get a rest on the back. So that is a wastage of material. If you don't get the back rest sitting on a sofa until unless you lie back down, it is useless. So these considerations are very, very important, that when you sit on any chair, with the backrest must be in contact with your back or lumbar support. There could be uh, backrest seat plane height. What should be the height of the seat backrest seat plane? What should be the height of the backrest? This one. So these are four important parameters for designing the seat plane and backrest plane. So these two planes have very important role. Now these planes can be adjustable. Like seat plane can be adjustable in vertical direction. Backrest can be adjustable in angular deviation, so that you can have some sometimes leaning backward for the rest. Then E is a distance from edge to the seat for force points. So generally we avoid this sharp edge by having a curvature in this zone. Then F is an area that provide what I discussed here, that floor support must be wider than the seat plane. So this F is that kind of difference. Then we have P is
Sir,
alpha is
alpha is the angle between seat plane and backrest plane.
yes. They have shown alpha and beta two angles. I will discuss why they have shown these two. One is one is this one. This is horizontal. Alpha is between horizontal surface and the backrest. Beta is the angle between seat plane. Sorry. Go back. I show you. You see this line? The angle between this and this is beta, and the angle between this and this is alpha. This is what they have shown here. Okay. With respect
I'm
to the
understanding, sir. Okay, okay.
okay, alpha is with respect to the horizontal surface. Okay. Beta is with respect to the plane inclination. Okay. Then R is the under favorable condition net angle between backrest and the seat plane. All these are the considerations. Backrest and the seat plane. This is sorry, beta and alpha. So these are over here. There was some misprint. Now these are some of the basic dimensional variables which are important in creating the adaptability of the seat. When you look from the front, these are the things: seat width, armrest clearance, backrest width at at lumbar level, at thoracic level. Your lumbar level is this point where you most of the time need support at a particular point of the spine. So this point you need support. This is your lumbar level where you need some kind of extra soft material which can provide a proper support and having less pressure on your L5 S1 discs. So D is the horizontal distance, horizontal lumbar cavity radius, and E is the thoracic cavity radius. So these are just the radius there. Um, so these are all, I could say, the variables which creates a compatibility of the human anthropometry with respect to the seat dimensions. Now, there is one question like if you have a seat with arm support or without arm support, seat having arm support and seat having no arm support, which seat will have more width, W1 and W2, with arm support or without arm support?
Without arm support.
Without arm support needs more width. That is what you say. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Anyone? Reason? These are some of the values taken from the book, that seat height 39 to 52 centimeters are acceptable. Up to 42 or more than 52 is not acceptable. You can see this table very closely rather than unacceptable. See here, these are some of the values: seat height, seat depth, seat width without armrest, seat width with armrest. They are just giving some allowances here. Okay, so we consider a 2 centimeter allowance over there. Backrest height, adjustable height, backrest width, armrest width. So these are some of the recommendations from different studies which have been summed up in the handbook. Then the next point is comfort. Comfort is, as I told you, the like comfort of pillow, comfort of your seat plane, comfort of your backrest. All these things have to be considered based on uh, their elasticity, their support, their adjustability in the chair. So these things we have to consider based on the characteristics of the cushion. For that purpose, these three areas like this for lumbar region, seat plane, and this knee point. These are important for the comfort. Otherwise, they will create, if these are hard points, you may not be comfortable in seat. And these heights must be important. Nowadays, many chairs are available with adjustable adjustable lumbar support. They have a kind of mesh over here, and they have a lumbar support over here which can move up and down side by side for different persons, so they can adjust the lumbar support as per their requirement. It is available in many of the chairs, especially from Godrej or Dice. You can find some of the ergonomically designed chairs where they have a lumbar support adjustable. You can support in this direction. You can want it forward or backward. You can adjust it upward or downward. So lumbar support is very important, and these have to be properly cushioned with with the um, with a proper material that can provide a comfort. So inclination of the backrest is also part of comfort. If it has a proper angular deviation available, then only person can adjust. Contour of the seat planes, lumbar support, padding, covering material. So material should not be slippery, or material should not be very like the material which you do not feel comfort sitting in or touching the body. So that kind of comfort is very important based on these criteria. Even though after doing millions of dollars of research in seating, we have a scope for improvement, because if you go to industry, you may not find everybody sitting on the chair or comfortable chair. You can find person sitting on a stool, person sitting on chair, person sitting on comfortable chair, person sitting on floor. Nowadays, very hot topic is floor working and their sitting. Persons making buckets, persons making packaging, persons making polishing, they are just sitting on the floor. They are making keys on punching machine, but they are sitting on the floor. So floor sitting is also an scope for ergonomists to research on. Floor sitting workplaces, how you can provide comfort. Somebody can sit having W-shaped legs, someone can sit like M-shaped legs, someone can sit uh, in stoop posture. There are many postures of sitting you can find, like person sitting in this way, some some person sitting like this way, some person sitting many postures, one leg like this, other leg like this. So there are many postures persons do adopt, do adopt as per their body comfort, I could rather say body comfort. So everybody wants to adjust the comfort with his or her own limitations. Someone has more flexibility in length. Flexibility in legs means ranges of motions. Ranges of motion is a term I will explain later on. Is the maximum angular deviation a body joint can make. So if someone has more ranges of motion, generally range of motion are more for female than male, but it's not a universal law. So flexibility is important. If we remember, like Vivian Richards playing cricket, his body had so much flexibility that he could play the shot in any direction of the field. But some people have limitations. Some people are very tuned for playing the shots in one or two directions in cricket. So you can see that that flexibility of the body plays an important role. So ranges of motion of individuals are important to be understood for their adopting their body posture, and that is how, sorry, and that is how their body posture is noticed in different workplaces. You can find different type of sitting postures. So floor sitting, working, occupational, sitting on floor and working is another scope for ergonomist. These are some of the summarized table for chair comfort. But a concavity, rounded from the edge, seat plane angle, lumbar support, horizontal profile radius, padding, covering materials, armrests. So all these are just summarized um, in the handbook. So I have taken from the handbook for your discussion or learning. Then practicability, maneuvering of adjustments. As I told in the beginning that adjustments must be so compatible. For example, in very oddly designed comfortable chair, you have to uh, you have to just reverse the chair for making the adjustment of the backrest. It is very underneath the seat plane, at the center of the seat plane, and you have to adjust it, and it is very hard to adjust. You might have experience of just this kind of adjustment, and that is why uh, people do not adjust their backrest. If you go to your conference room of mechanical engineering, I am saying that the old red chairs placed over there, the adjustment is very at the very center of the center underneath the seat plane, and the adjustment is very hard. So that's why people do not feel comfort in adjusting. So maneuvering is very important. Nowadays, coding, maneuvering, and the proper point for adjustments in chair is research, and it is made based on what is called as controls, control and display design concept. So control and display concept, control and design compatibility concept is applied for providing the proper adjustments and the coding of the proper adjustment. Controls easy to reach. Knobs and handles should not be easily removable. Covering material should be washable, specific to the purpose. So these are the points which are considered for practicality of the thing. Solidity, resistance to wear of the chair and its components is prerequisite. So its life, its stability, all these factors are important for. Chair is a separate working instrument, and therefore it can have different characteristics, features that make it suitable for certain job settings. I don't know what time it is. 9:30. We have about 8 minutes. Don't worry. So there are these were the basic concepts on which the chair is designed, but there are certain other general concepts given by other ergonomists. So I'm summarizing them also. Promote lumbar lordosis. There are two postures of the spine we generally adopt. One is this, and the other is this. So we promote this posture, lumbar lordosis, instead of kyphotic posture of the spine. You are leaning forward and having your spine like kyphotic posture is to be avoided. you can accept the lumbar lordosis posture where you have a proper support so that the pressure on the lower back is less. Minimum disc pressure will be there. Minimize static load of the back muscles, so there should be adjustability. Reduce posture fixity. Provide for easy adjustments. These are all the repetition somewhere. You will find the repetition over here because I had discussed most of the points in adaptability, stability, comfort, and practicality. So this is lordotic invert arc. It is kyphotic arc. We have to avoid it. We have to go for this. Seat height and slope, seat depth and width, already discussed. Guidelines, seat back should provide support for lumbar area, already discussed. We have discussed these things. There are some guidelines for American National Institutes. These are ANSI standards. What should be the seat height? I will give these values to you. Seat depth in inches. We have already taken the summarized values from handbook in centimeters. Contours and cushioning, seat backs. So these are the repetitions of them, but these standards I am just showing because they are taken from NSI standards. This diagram is taken from the book McCormick, from the study of Grandjean. Some of the dimensions for reading and resting is compared here. The important point here is reading and resting is compared. So seat inclination, backrest angle, seat height is given over here.